You know what his values were? Make more money. Like and I know it sounds crazy given how rich he is, but
Right.
it was never, the values don't exist. And that's what's even, I'll take Marjorie Taylor Greene any day of the week and twice on Sunday, right?
She has a moral code.
Kind of.
Bezos comes in. There's this incredible quote from him in the newsroom in
I
2013
saw.
where he talks about that, hey, I'm going to give this long runway here because, you can make money if you shrink things. It's a survivable strategy, but eventually it leads to extinction.
Yeah.
Literally what he describes is now what he's doing.
Right.
Was it misplaced faith in him?
When that happened, I got a lot of calls because I could cover Jeff since he started. Like literally, I helped him go find an office for Amazon in Seattle when they expanded. So I knew him. He started off a lot older than other tech people. A lot of the tech people were young, like Larry.
Well, there was always a maturity about him that
he was older.
That made right, and that, frankly, look, I feel like I misread the guy.
He was a hedge fund guy. Like he worked for I think it was a hedge fund or a quant group or whatever. He was already having a career and was older, and he was up in Seattle too, because it was an important, an inexpensive hub to mail things and stuff. And before they had warehouses, and they kept improving it with logistics. But one of the things about him, he was always a math guy, and he understood the math of the whole thing. And I don't know if you misjudged him. He just was trying to shine up his, let me say from the beginning, Jeff was, I described him in my book as feral when I met him. You could see the feral nature of wanting to take and grab and take advantage all the time, whether it wasn't paying state taxes, whether it was, taking books without permission, whether it was all manner, whatever it took. He was not unsimilar.
A little predatory. He was very predatory.
Well, feral is the word I use. Something like a ferret, just wandering around. And so I think people didn't see it coming, right? And the same thing with the Post is you have the Grahams, which were worried, very worried at the time, which I don't think gets enough press, about Murdoch buying it.
Right, so this was didn't they almost reach out to him to see if he'd be interested?
No, they did not want Murdoch. They absolutely...
No, I'm talking about to Bezos. Wasn't this almost
No, they reached out to Eric Schmidt and the Google guys first.
Okay.
Eric Schmidt in particular, and then settled on Jeff when they were at Sun Valley or something like that. And the Post was very inexpensive, actually, because it was $250 million, I guess, but then it had a big pension fund that was funded. It wasn't that bad a deal.
And this is 1 year after he names Washington the second headquarters of Amazon, right?
Names it, that ridiculous circus. Another whatever. Like Scott and I made fun of it. We're like, this, you're all being played by
the American Idol.
Whatever-ization
of
never was for the.
How many tax breaks can a city offer Amazon?
How it was only the person that was right there was AOC. She knew it. She knew she's been a bartender. She knows that guy, right? She knows that wants the free drinks, right? So he was. And he never really did that either. Never did it. Never completed any of the promises that he made, of course, because these people will move. I mean, I remember meeting with, I think it was Joe Kennedy when he was a representative, and they were putting a warehouse into his district. He's like, well, that's a good thing, Jobs. I'm like, he will robotize this as soon as he can. I had just been to one of their advanced facilities. I was like, they've just bought this thing called Kiva. As many people as they can get rid of, they will. So just keep that in mind. Right. They don't want to help you. They're I always use the analogy of Twilight Zone to serve man. It's a cookbook. These aliens aren't here to help us. They're here to take and eat us.
Why didn't Bezos, though, attack the information ecosystem? There's an alternative path that Jeff Bezos, entrepreneur, I thought might have taken. I thought about this during the dust up over the editorial page.
Right.
And I've always wondered, why is there one editorial board? Who's to say the Washington Post couldn't have a conservative editorial board and a liberal editorial board?
That sounds great.
The guy who decided to become the retail giant of everything and said, why do I have to only sell books? I could sell everything.
Right.
If he thought he wanted to grow a business, he might have thought that way. Right. But it seems to me he never saw the Washington Post as a business.
He never did. No, he wasn't interested.
Trophy, right?
He was not interested. It's shining up his image is my take. And I said that to Postman, and they're like, you're so mean to him. Like, no.
But he never did anything that indicated he was interested in growing the business long term.
Yes, he did a couple tech things, flimity-flam tech things. He tried to modernize some of the printing, I guess. I think they're just doing that now. He said a lot of words, is what I remember. I was like, that's a lot of words. Like, it's the same thing with the Paramount people now. We're going to AI it. I'm like, and I was in the meeting. I was like, okay, how? And they're like, AI. And I'm like, got it. Okay, but how?
I know. I can't tell you how many times I hear, we're going to AI this, right?
And I'm like, okay, I'm open. Give me a specific, just one, it's sort of like one specific would be, how are you going to save money? I could think of 10, but so he came in and, he was sort of a benign owner and tried a little technique. And I think the penny dropped, because he's a smart guy, was, I can't make much money here because Google and Facebook have sucked up online advertising. Right. News has splintered, and there's all these entrepreneurs. He knew, he's so smart.
And then he became a target of Trump, and that was
the initial.
That had to have.
Well, so did Amazon, Amazon became a target of Trump, and Jeff Bezos. Remember the Amazon Washington Post stuff? Mm-hmm. The first term he was constrained. When the second term came, Jeff understood. And by the way, he wasn't very liberal. He never started. None of these people had politics.
I always say this everybody has a line that Trump eventually crosses. Mm-hmm. We just all don't have the same line.
That's right.
And I think she had a line that he eventually crossed, and
on certain things.
And there's some people that are just fully just driven.
Absolutely. And so that's why you saw him along with the others standing up there. They were in front of the cabinet. Just think about that. Trump put them there like little dolls on a shelf. Yeah. And they got what they needed. I mean, just today, Amazon got an enormous tax break. There's a story in the Journal. He wants to go to space. He gets to be in the space program. He gets to, the things he cares about, he gets to have. And the Post is a trifle nothing to him.
My suspicion is
he's vaguely interested in it.
There were plenty of people.
There were.
That wanted to buy it.
Yes, including me.
You did. I'll be honest, I was trying to find some rich friends of mine to help too. And
I have more rich friends.
You probably have
friends.
More.
None of them are my friends.
Right. But the point was,
one is.
There was a whole collection of us that there was plenty of buyers. So
there's more than that. You're leaving out the venal hedge funds. You're leaving out those people.
But I think ultimately in the community, in this community,
absolutely,
which is different.
Yeah.
And which was. There was still money to be made off the community. I mean, if it just
or break even,
right?
I would say.
But he chose not to do that.
No.
And my thesis is, had he sold it, Trump would have been angry at him for selling it to somebody who was still creating a thorn. Why did he keep it to kill it?
I've thought about a lot of the Post people who were fired. Last year when he was doing all this manner of nonsense, which was pulling the Kamala thing, which is his right to do, but the way he did it, again, it's always the way they do.
He hurt the entire industry.
He's the one that is the reason for the subscriber drop. I was like, you think he cares? Like, he doesn't care. And I kept saying that to them, and they're like, oh, what is it? I'm like, he doesn't care. He cares about Venice. He cares about whatever Botox he's put in his face. He cares about whatever surgery I'm sorry. He's put it
This is what I mean when I misread. I thought.
I'm sorry. He's doing it. Everyone's like, don't objectify him. I'm like, he's objectifying himself. He poses with a cowboy hat with the muscles. We can talk about it. There's a transformation happening here after his divorce.
It's the most stereotypical midlife crisis that you can see that literally every 50-something man could go through if they don't have any filters.
Right, exactly. And so, and he's found a partner who's good with it, and he let behind a partner who was clearly not good with it, and has used the money she got to do good, right? You can see that juxtaposition is so clear. And so he doesn't care, for one. The two is he cares on I'm smarter than you. When you ever talk to him, one of the most annoying things about Jeff Bezos is he knows everything, just so you know.
Yeah, I've been at a few dinners where that came across.
Great. They're all like this. Not all of them. Mm-hmm. Some of them are quite curious and interested. But, I spent a lot of time with Steve Jobs. This guy's 10 times more arrogant than Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs deserves to be arrogant, right? I got to tell you.
Not the prettiest picture of Steve Jobs in the Walter Isaacson signal.
Well, I wouldn't. Steve was much more complex. But that was sort of a cartoon version of Steve Jobs. But I felt like he wasn't interested and became less interested as he married Lauren and became interested in other things. He should buy Vogue. He should buy Vogue.
Well, he controls the Met.
He's going to run it. That's great. Go
the Met Gala, right? Isn't that her thing now?
And
he owns it now or controls it or whatever?
Whatever. I think he's giving them all the money. And Godspeed. Like, I love those costumes. Fantastic. Seems like what you're interested in. And so, but he's not interested in this. And that's the problem. Then what he did then is put someone in place to run it who is wholly incompetent to the